عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. We continue tonight with what we have been discussing over the past 2 or 3 nights, and that is the ash'ar from Hazrat Khwaja Sahib Rahmatullah Alayhi's Muraqaba Maut. As I mentioned many times by now, that this is a break that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has given us. Islam, Shariat, Quran, Sunnat. We know so much. There's so much that we know. But sometimes we don't have the himmat and the courage to make amal on those things that we already know, the knowledge that we already have. A person can sometimes have great knowledge. He's like an encyclopedia himself of the knowledge of Islam. But when it comes to amal and actions, then he doesn't have the himmat to even make namaz 5 times a day. There are many so-called scholars. With Allah wa Ta'ala's fazal, during the days that we used to travel out and attend conferences and seminars and such kind of programs in different parts of the world. So we used to meet many so-called scholars. They used to present beautiful papers on Islam and Islamic teachings. We were given subject on which to speak, so we used to make some preparation, deliver some papers, give some speech. So some beautiful papers used to be presented. Then when it used to come namaz time, then unfortunately many of them did not even participate in the congregational salat. It's different if there had been some other masajid around there and they had gone there. But some of those places that we used to make, or we used to have these conferences, there were no other masajid. And the best part is after we used to finish our salah, they used to be still sitting there and watching. So the himmat and the courage to make amal comes in righteous company. If we are blessed with people who are making the salat 5 times a day, those who are fasting in Ramadan, we are blessed with company of people who are not drinking, gambling, fornicating. They don't have zulmat in their hearts, they have nuraniyat in their hearts. So then it transfers. We don't have to make any special effort also. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala causes it to transfer. But the condition is sincerity, ikhlas. A person can sometimes remain in the khidmat of a Shaykh Kamil for many years. But if he doesn't have ikhlas, then he is not going to really gain anything in his own life. The person will not gain in his own life. The salat of the person will be the same as he used to make. The dealings of the person may not change. So there is no fault of those mashayikh of ours. It is a fault of the person who is staying in that company, that he doesn't have ikhlas and sincerity. He did not make the maqsad of his association, the reformation and change of his life. That was not the maqsad. Sometimes the maqsad is just name and fame, that I am also associated with Hazrat so and so. That's all. So that person will not gain much. Therefore the Shah Wasiullah Rahmatullah Alayhi had said that most of the times, of course you get exceptions, but he said most of the times we find that the children of a very pious and righteous father, they don't seem to benefit very much from that father. The world will come and benefit. I'm giving you an explanation of what he said. He said the world will come. Hazrat Mujaddid-e-Millat Rahmatullah Alayhi was in that little village of Tanabawan. People were coming from way different parts of the world. Great muftis, great ulama. And the local people who were just around that area, they used to say, what's so much and what's so great about this old man that people are coming from so far? So what's so much in it? So the children generally, they take it for granted. So they don't really benefit very much. In fact, sometimes they abuse that relationship because they are the children of some great waliullah or some great mashayikh or some great ulama or mufti or qari sahib. So they abuse that relationship for their own ends. Then also those who are close, most of the time we have seen the Shah Ataullah Bukhari Rahmatullah alayhi, Hazrat Maulana Madani Rahmatullah alayhi, Shaykhul Hind Rahmatullah alayhi, Hazrat Maulana Ilyas Rahmatullah alayhi, Hazrat Maulana Sayyid Khan Sahib Rahmatullah alayhi, most of these people. Maulana Sayyid Khan Sahib Rahmatullah alayhi said, with Allah Ta'ala's fazal, I went up and down different countries and different parts of the world for tabligh. Alhamdulillah, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala had given him a very, very high position in the Jama'at, and he had some unique sifat and qualities in him. I had the opportunity of traveling with him 40 days. So I am aware of what qualities he had. He says, after all that, the greatest regret was that a person who spent 2.5 years with me, he used to put my musalla, he used to pour water for me, he used to make my khidmat, but he was the spy of the government. He was a spy for the government. And he was one of them instrumental in giving false reports to the Saudi government upon which they had him arrested. Yet for 2.5 years he was with him. So therefore, now, that person, do you think he would gain anything? Somebody else in 3 days would have gained so much. But here the person in 2.5 years, that's what he gained. How to give wrong information, false reports, just so that he may collect his salary and so that he may fulfill those duties of a spy. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala give us ikhlas. And those who with ikhlas, with the purpose of their own reformation, they showed muhabbat, they showed aqidat, they showed azmat, then Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala gave them respect in this world too, and gave them islah of their nafs also, and they made progress. Their akhlaq improved, their namaz improved, their dealings improved, their ibadat improved. Everything, there was an improvement. People could witness it, they could see it, that here there is a complete change and a reformation. There is a connection between hearts which we cannot understand. There is a connection between hearts. If in this room now, in this masjid here, we have some globes and some fluorescent tubes of very low voltage, and there are others of very high voltage. Say we have some bulbs here, we have of 1000 watt, and we also have some one of 10 watt. But in the light, can you differentiate it? Can you say that this light here that is shining, so in this light here, this is the brightness of the 10 watt, little bit brightness only, and this is the brightness of the 1000 watt bulb? Nothing like that. You can't see the difference. So we may have very, very weak iman, and sometimes the voltage is very low. The globe and the bulb that we have of iman is of low voltage, 10 watt bulb. But the sohbat of the awliya siddiqeen, the arifeen, the mashayikh who are kamil, not like us. So then when we're sitting there, then there is a fusion of the different lights. The brightness is of that heart, it permeates that whole majlis. Now it just depends on how much sincerity the person has. That much brightness will come into his heart also. So this muraqaba of mouth is that break, as I always say. that when we don't have the himmat to give up sins, then think of death in abundance. It will give us the himmat. Again, if we are sincere. If we are not sincere, then we'll read up all Muraqaba of Maut and all the ayat of Maut and all the ayat and verses of Akhirat. And at the end of the day, there will be no change. How much of Quran Sharif is read in the month of Ramadan? Whole Quran Sharif, khatams upon khatams. We may not understand that much Arabic, but isn't it recited in the Arab world? Those who understand Arabic. How much of changes then comes at the end of the month of Ramadan after khatams and khatams have been made. And look at the ayat of Jannat, the ayat of Jahannam, the warnings of Allah Ta'ala, and the glad tidings that are given to the believers, and all the different laws and legislation. So Muraqaba of Maut. So we have done 2 couplets. We will go on to the 3rd one. So far we have discussed Tu Baraye Bandagi Hai Yaad Rak. You have been created for the bandagi and the worship of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, for submission of your head, for bowing down of this head and submission of yourself to Allah Ta'ala's will. And if you are not going to do that, in other words, if you are not going to make bandagi of Allah Ta'ala, then it will be sharmindagi. When the time for departure will come, it will be sharmindagi. The person, if he has made no preparation, then it will be sharmindagi. For everything we make preparation before time. The longer the journey, the more preparation we make. If a person is just going now from here to town and coming back, now does he take one suitcase with him from here? Of clothes that is going to change on the way. In Sparks Road, change one set, then go on to Brickfield Road, change another set, and go into West Street, change another set, and then come back. He knows there is just a few minutes, he's going to go down the road and come back. If the person is going to Johannesburg for one day, so then he will take one set of clothes. And if somebody is in the fashion world, he may take 3 sets. Like the women folk may take 2 pairs or 3 pairs of shoes for one day also. And when the person is traveling further and for a number of days, then he will pack the bag accordingly. Therefore, Hazrat Bahlul, one day, Harun Rashid, he used to always joke with him, but Hazrat Bahlul, they used to call him Majnoon. We say he was Dana, he was very intelligent, very pious. But because he was a simpleton, so therefore, they used to think that he is Majnoon. But Harun Rashid used to enjoy his company. Many a time used to call him and ask him for nasihat also. So one day when he came, then Harun Rashid gave him a stick, walking stick. And he said, give this stick to someone that you find a greater fool than yourself. He said, this stick here, you must give it to somebody who is more foolish than you. Because as I said, they used to call him Majnoon. So he took the stick and he kept it with him. Now when he heard that Harun Rashid's time is coming up to go, to leave this world, coming close to Sakrat, so then he pitched up there with that stick. And then he asked him, he said, you are going on a journey. It's a very, very long journey. From this world you are leaving and you are not going to return. It's such a long journey. In the qabr, we don't know how long you're going to stay. And thereafter Hashar. And then we could cross the Pul Sirat. It's a very long journey. And a lot of preparation was required. So have you sent ahead some soldiers, some army, some military? Because whenever you used to travel out on the land here, before you leave and before you depart, there's already bodyguards and military and all the kinds of preparation that is done to make sure that there is no obstruction on the way and you are successful in this venture of yours wherever you are going. So much of preparation is made. So many of people are sent ahead to make sure that everything is comfortable in the place that you are going. So did you send ahead some kind of military, some force, some army, some people to make all the preparation ahead? So he said, why are you talking again foolish things? He said, because in this journey, he said, you can't send anybody ahead there. my military, my forces, they can't do anything. In the qabr, what they are going to do? In the akhirat, what are they going to do? So how can I send them ahead? They said, well, have you sent good deeds ahead? Because that is that military. That is what is going to help you in this long and distant journey. Have you taken enough of that? Of course, Harun Rashid was a good, pious king. He used to cry many a time when nasihat used to be given to him. But Bahlul was trying to give some nasihat. So Harun Rashid started crying. He said, no, that I haven't done. He said, well, this stick I think is good for you. You take the stick again. Because you said must give it to somebody who's a bigger fool than myself. So it seems that you made no preparation for such a long journey, and yet short journeys you make big preparations. So you are the one who deserves the stick, so take it back again. So he taught us a lesson there. So Muraqaba of mouth is not intended to stifle anybody's progress. It is just intended to give the person himmat and courage to do the right thing at the right time, and not to do the wrong things. तूने मनसब भी अगर पाया तो क्या, गंज सीमो जर भी हाथ आया तो क्या. If you got all the gold and silver and oil wealth of the world too in your control and power, then what? If you got all the position of honor in the world, then what? If you reach the highest stages, or you got the highest seat in the land, then what? You got all the garlands and everything else, then what? Qasr Ali Shah bhi banwaya to kya. If you built a huge, big, lavish palace, then what? Dabdaba bhi apna dikhlaya to kya. If you showed your authority and power, so what? You think that is going to leave you? That is behind you. Ek din marna hai, aakhir maut hai. Kar le jo karna hai, aakhir maut hai. कैसर और इस्कंदर और जम चल बसे, जाल और सोहराब और रस्तम चल बसे. कैसे कैसे शेर और ज़कीम चल बसे, कैसे कैसे शेर और ज़ैगम चल बसे. सब दिखाकर अपना दम खम चल बसे. एक दिन मरना है, आखिर मौत है. कर ले जो करना है, आखिर मौत है. एक दिन मरना है, आखिर मौत है. कर ले जो करना है, आखिर मौत है. Now these are all the big names. As we have superpowers and their presidents and kings and rulers. So like that, Caesar, Alexander, Sohrab, Rustam, all these type of people, he says, Sab chal base, everybody left. In other words, all the heavyweights of the world, all the heaviness did not help them when it came to the protection from the sword of Israel alayhi salatu wasalam. When Israel alayhi salatu wasalam strikes the neck on the souls, then finish. Can be anyone, no matter what a heavyweight he may have been. But they all have to leave this world, and they have left. कैसे कैसे घर उजाड़े मौत ने, खेल कितनों के बिगाड़े मौत ने. कैसे कैसे घर उजाड़े मौत ने, खेल कितनों के बिगाड़े मौत ने. पीलतन क्या क्या पछाड़े मौत ने, सरो कद कब्रों में गाड़े मौत ने. एक दिन मरना है, आखिर मौत है. कर ले जो करना है, आखिर मौत है. एक दिन मरना है, आखिर मौत है. कर ले जो करना है, आखिर मौत है. कैसे कैसे घर उजाड़े मौत ने. What kinds of homes, what kind of people lived in those homes. How much of happiness, there was enjoyment, there was merriment, there was celebration, and there was all kinds of fun and pleasure and entertainment. But death came and silenced everything. What plans they had. One flood and everything is over. One earthquake and everything is gone. One tsunami and no sign of what was existing there. Kaise kill. What kinds of plans people had. Mouth came and everything is gone. Khel kitno ke bigade mouth. What kind of people with great strength in body, in physique, but mouth came and took them away. And some of them were tall in those early days in nations of the past. Some were like gum trees, tall people. But where are they? All gone. Mouth comes, finished. They fall flat on the ground. Like how the tree is uprooted in a storm. Like that they are plucked out. They plucked out. एक दिन मरना है आखिर मौत है कर ले जो करना है आखिर मौत है. So therefore we should not be negligent and indifferent. We should not be like those people who remain ghafil and negligent, unconcerned that death will come suddenly. And thereafter when death came, there was no preparation that had been made. जो गफलत में गुजरी वो क्या जिंदगी है, वो जीना नहीं बल्कि शर्मिंदगी है. तेरी याद में गुजरी जो जिंदगी वही जिंदगी है. Whatever zindagi you spend in the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala, that is zindagi. That means the fulfillment of Allah Ta'ala's ahkam. जो गुजरी तेरी याद में जिंदगी है वही जिंदगी बस मेरी जिंदगी है. जो गफलत में गुजरी वो क्या जिंदगी है, वो जीना नहीं बल्कि शर्मिंदगी है. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala give us all the tawfiq of amal. As I said, that this mouth is not a tasbih that we sit and read mouth. It is a realization that must be in the heart. And all that is required is that it must be a barrier between us and sins. Person wants to commit zina, he thinks straight away, that what if death comes? Finish. You must put him off. The person is sitting on the computer and now he wants to go on to some porn site, then he must just think, what if my death comes now? My fingers will remain here and everybody will watch after that. This is the person that used to be in the first saf in the masjid. This is the person that used to make zikrullah and tasbihat. And this is the person who was claiming to have sohbat of mashayikh. And this is the person who was in da'wat and tabligh. And this is the person who was a haji sahab of 100 times. And see where his death came. So that realization must put the person off from that haram. Any kind of sin, it must be a barrier. The remembrance of that must be a barrier. The person wants to steal. Now he just thinks, what if Israel alayhi salam comes while the person's hand is on that money and is putting in his pocket? Finish. It's a barrier. After that, it will only be a stupid person or the one who doesn't really believe in akhirat and jannat, jahannam. So this remembrance of maut is a very, very good weapon that Allah Ta'ala has given to us. If He had made it known to us that you will die in 2012 and you will die in 2020 and it will be a Monday or Sunday and this is where you will die, then would anybody have worried long before time? Everybody would have said, still another 20 years to go, enjoy ourselves. And Maulana, one thing, I know exactly which day I'm going to die. So couple hours before that I'll be in the masjid. Sincere tawbah, I'll never get up from the musalla. That's what all would have done. So because we heard many times, sincere tawbah, everything get maafed. So that we'll leave it for that day. So Allah Ta'ala kept it a secret. So nobody knows. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen. Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Allahumma Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذ منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Ya Rabbi Kareem, bless us with a life of piety, a life of taqwa, a life of righteousness. Bless us with your qurb, with your ma'rifat, with yaqeen in you, with tawakkul and trust in you. Make us of the awliya siddiqeen. When our mouth time comes, take us to Madinah Tayyibah. Don't let the angel of death find us in any kind of haram action. Bless us with the best of dunya and the best of akhirat. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ونبينا وشفيعنا ومولانا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Of the fuel, the power to take off. The aeroplane doesn't just take off straight. We don't want to overburden you and overload you. Slowly, slowly make himmat, courage. Stay away from haram, stay away from sins. Then if you do a little bit of wazifas also, it takes you a long way. Aeroplane is packed with everything, Haji Sahibs and plenty of luggage with all the gold and silver inside. And if somebody just plants one bomb inside there, finish. Everything is blown. So like that. The person may have a lot of amal, but no ikhlas, and nothing. Allah Ta'ala doesn't want to see quantity, He wants to see quality. Don't lose hope also. All those people who say nothing, I can't find any difference in my life, then it's good, think like that. But then must compare with the life of 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And the person will see that many changes came in his life if he was sincere in making the right effort, then changes will have come. So no need to lose hope also. But we must not abort the baby after 3 months, 6 months. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. Make dua for my health also. خدمة الدين with ikhlas.